Greetings, loved ones, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another I Love This Stuff with Meghan Hughes. I'm Meghan Hughes, and this is a series where I show you all of the things I've been loving over the past month. So, first things first, let's start off with the bathroom goodies. I actually don't have as much to show you today as I probably should because I didn't film this last month in September because I'm uploading this today on November 1st, but this is my like October and September favorites. But throughout the month of September, I was doing Sextember content. And so it was very like focused on one topic and I didn't want to upload and I love this stuff throughout that month. So I just waited to show everything to you today, okay? So the first thing that I have to show is, and this isn't sponsored, none of these companies are paying me to say these things, but I do have an affiliate code for this, which I'll link down below, or a discount code or something like that. But this is a new natural deodorant that I got. It's from Each and Every, and it's a lavender lemon scent, and those are literally my two favorite scents for skincare, baked goods, all of the things. They're fantastic scents, and this is an aluminum-free deodorant. I love the packaging so much. It's very sleek, fun, nice. I love the little tubey. And there's no baking soda in here, so if you have sensitive armpits like I do, it's great for you. There's no parabens either, or gluten, or synthetic fragrances. So it's really just a 25 out of 10 product, and it works very well, okay? I love it so much. Before I switched to this one, I was using Native deodorant, which is also very good, and I like that one a lot, but I just wanted to try this one out, and it's great. So if you're in the market for a new natural deodorant, try her out. And then my next product that I have to show to you is a little CBD oil. This is 1 ounce of full spectrum 600 milligrams CBD, and I am so into this. This is from brand, and they have a lot of skincare products, but they have this little tincture, and I've been putting this into my coffee in the morning to kind of subside the level of anxiety that I have for some reason started getting when I drink too much coffee. So I just like get a dropper full of this and just squeeze into my coffee. The taste is great, love it so much. Sometimes I mix it into my water bottle as well, and it really helps me just calm the nerves, ease the system in general, and it's really been helpful. So if you're looking for a nice full spectrum CBD, then I recommend Miss Shea brand. It's fantastic. Now let's talk about clothing and undergarments. First things first, my undergarments. I showed this same brand, but it was more of like a stretch across top. It wasn't the deep low cut one, which is a little bit more booby, so I'm sorry if that shocked you. I've talked about Hara, the label, in, I think it was an episode of I Love This Stuff called I'm a Sustainable Sister. And I was just talking about sustainable underwear brands and how I invest in those rather than like buying super cheap Victoria's Secret underwear or just like bulk ordering from, I don't know, someplace that makes them in a terrible way. Let me rave to you about Hara the label really quickly, okay? As if I haven't already. I have one of their white regular bralettes that has more, it looks like a bandeau at the top with very skinny straps, and that is like my everyday bra. It's honestly fraying at the back because I've been wearing it so much that the elastic is like fraying with the fabric around it, so I'm like, these things you need to handle very carefully and hand wash and hang to dry. And they're all dyed with plant dyes, and so they will bleed the first time that you put them in your wash or whatever. So you need to hand wash them and like wring out the color and then hang them to dry. But I have my first little panty from them, this little G-string thong, and I love it. It is so comfortable, dude. They're made from bamboo. They're fantastic, fantastic label, very body positive. Their Instagram is, it's everything to me. It's so cool. So I'll put their right here. I'll put their website in the description box when I link all of these products. But I've been really loving this like deep cut one because, like I said, it's a little bit more booby, so I can wear it and still have a little bit of support and like a nice lift up to wear low cut shirts and stuff like that. And the other one is just more like full coverage, and I love them both. So highly recommend that brand. And on the note of sustainable underwear, I also have to rave about Jonesy. Yet again, I've also raved about them in the past. I love this stuff and featured them in my bras for big boobs video as well. Big boobs. What?
Big boobs? What? Child. Anyway, so.
Oh, by the way, I got this Hara bralette in a large and I got the underwear in a small, and then both of these are smalls. So Jonesy just came out with this new style and it's like a high hip, thin strapped style. And it is so cute and flattering on the bod. So I got a little peachy kind of pair. I don't know if this is even peach. It's just like a nice pink rose kind of number, and then these are a nice sunshine yellow, and you know I just had to get these ones, baby. I have so much underwear from Jonesy. This was my last like cutoff point until I actually feel like I need to buy more. I have probably, I think 6 to 8 pairs from them, and I just love them so dearly. They're really, really wonderfully made. Same with Hara, and they put out new styles and new colors so often that are so cute, and I'm just like, I can't not get them. It's a disorder, but I love supporting a nice small business that is also sustainable, made in NYC. Gotta love it, baby. That's my undies for you. What else? Oh, clothing wise, I got these new boots, and they're actually not new. They're my mom's old like house shoes and house slippers. And when we were on our Idaho trip, our family Idaho trip for Hughes giving, I'll link the vlogs up here if you did not see them. My mom would just leave these lying around the house, and even when we're back home in Georgia, I just always stole these from her. So after I had them on one day, I was like, Mom, I want these for Christmas. I take them from you way too often. And she was like, you can have them, just take mine. I didn't even wear them that often. And I was like, okay. She was like, yeah, one less thing to pack in the suitcase, take them. I was like, okay. And they have just been so wonderful for me. I wear them literally every day, and they're just like a nice wool material. They're from the brand Sanuk, and Sanuk has really nice, just like beautiful footwear and all of these nice wool boots and booties and slippers and all of the things. So if you need new shoes or new slippers, house shoes, whatever you want to call them, then definitely check out friggin' Sanuk. What the heck else? I guess we should go down to the kitchen now, our kitchen goods. And this is something that I've been loving so much. Miss Lefty, my red blend wine. I was drinking this in my last So Drunk episode number 4. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it on the screen. I was sewing our Halloween costumes and getting crunk off Lefty. And this is like, I think $11.50 or maybe a little bit less at Safeway, which is really good for the level of taste that this is, my dudes. It has like raspberry notes in it, and for a red wine, it is just like pretty sweet and not bitter and bad. Sometimes when you get like a Merlot or something, you're like, ugh, I actually do not like that at all. And I generally gravitate towards Cabernet Sauvignon. I finally know how to say it, okay? And this one is way, way different than any of those kinds of tastes. And it's very like fruity. It has beautiful aromas to it. My friend Annalie brought it over, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be buying this every time I go to Safeway. So I do. And I have 2 finished bottles of it downstairs, so that's why I brought an empty bottle to show you today. And then I have 2 recipes that I would like to share with you guys today that are both vegan and so delicious, okay? The first one is something that I made for our Halloween party that we had the other week, and it was a vegan chocolate pecan pretzel pie, which is a mouthful, but I'll put a photo on the screen of her glory. It was beautiful. The recipe is from Rabbit and Wolves, which is also one of the best freaking vegan food inspiration Instagram pages that I follow. I follow a lot of food blogs, but she is like high up there with fantastic recipes that just hit every time, you know? They're never bad. And so I made that for the party, and it was great. I felt like everybody loved it, you know? It was very delectable and delicious. And if you're looking for a good pie, that was my first pie I've ever made, and it was so much easier than I thought. So if you're looking for a nice fall pie, make that. And then if you're looking for a nice, well, I guess this isn't even like a specific fall dinner, it's just a fun fall dinner, but I made mac and cheese sandwiches the other night, and they were vegan, they were great, and it blew my mind, the recipe. So obviously these will be like double O for you guys to make, but this is the photo of the one that I made, but the one that I found on Instagram looked like this. Expectation versus reality with food pictures is always so different because it's an art, you know, for them to get that shot for their feed. And so when you actually make them, you're like, oh, mine didn't look exactly like that, but it was still delicious. Next, I have an activity slash like a date idea slash just a location. It's called Bullwinkle's. It's in Canby in Oregon, if you guys live anywhere near Canby. And I'm sure that they have Bullwinkle's like all around, but it's basically just like bowling. You can drink, you can get food, you can play arcade games, mini golf, freaking outdoor activities, go-karting, like all of the things all in one, my dudes, all packed together for $30. You can go and play 5 activities and just bop around for like a nice date day. And I just love that place so much, okay? I always have so much fun when we go. And so I wanted to include it in this because if you're an Oregonian and you're looking for a good time, can go to Bullwinkle's, okay? Love that place. Next is a book that I just finished reading and I would love to share it with you. This book, oh, the sleeve is falling off. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This book was so highly recommended to me and it's just like a YA bestseller for a reason. You know, dude, it is a fantastic novel. If you did not read this with me for my October book club selection, or even know that I have a book club, I do have a book club. You can follow along here at Mother Truckin' Bookworms or on my own Instagram at Meghan Hughes. But I just post like book reviews on that account and I'll always have the selection for the book that we're reading in the bio of my Bookstagram. But anyways, I was posting my progress throughout this book on my main Instagram story throughout the whole month. And I just loved this novel so much. I feel like it's so timely, so relevant, and like going to be relevant, unfortunately, until we fix the absolute tragedy of a system that is police brutality and the police system in general. Like just allowing these awful crimes to happen and nobody gets convicted. It's just... This book is about like the search for justice, stories of people who have lost loved ones and who are just like dealing with police brutality and subtle racism in their high schools and in their relationships and just all of those things. And it's written in the aspect of a girl in high school, so it is good for high schoolers, it's good for younger crowds, it's good for older crowds. Like I read this at 22 and I still fucking loved it. It was great. So definitely a very fantastic book if you are looking for a new one to choose from. Or you can go onto our Bookstagram and see what we're reading for November and read along with me, because that book so far is also fantastic. I'm reading The Reason I Jump for our November book, so that's for you guys if you want to follow along and read with me this month. Okay, now for what I've been listening to. So I have 2 vinyl to show you today. This first one is Blind Faller by Mandolin Orange. I feel like I've put this in a past I love this stuff before, but every time fall comes around, you know that I freaking want to be blasting this, okay? I just get into the country music vibe and I'm just trying to listen to my folk bays. They seriously got me back into country music and made me be like, oh, just because I'm from Georgia doesn't mean I have to hate country music now because everybody listened to it when I was growing up and I did not want to listen to Jason Aldean. No offense. But this is more like folky, very chill tunes. So if you also have an aversion to country music, but you want to like give it a second chance, listen to this fucking album, okay? It's a masterpiece. My favorite songs off of it are basically every song, but Wildfire, Hey Stranger, My Blinded Heart, and Hard Travelin'. I would say that those are my top 4. But yeah, give it a listen. And then next, I have talked about this, I believe, fairly recently in an I Love This Stuff video. And if I didn't, then here it is, just on vinyl in all of its glory. Norman fucking Rockwell by Lana Del Rey. I got this on vinyl and it is so beautiful. I almost just dropped it. It's this gorgeous lime green color. She seriously killed it with the coloring and color scheme for this era of her. Whew. This is seriously one of my favorite Lana albums. Next to Born to Die, I would say that this is like very, very up there. It has been my album of the year, pretty much. I can say that with confidence, okay? Like this has been my most listened to album easily. And so I've been bumping the hell out of that. I don't know about you guys. Let me know if you love Miss Lana Del Rey in the comments down below. I'm already assuming that you do because who doesn't, you know? And then as for other songs and bands and albums I've been loving this past, well, 2 months. Lifeguard by Naco and Medicine for the People just came out today. It's their new single and I friggin' love it. Speaking of singles I friggin' love, Making Love by Sir Woman. Sir Woman is Kelsey from Wild Child, but this is her like solo band and she just released a new single and it's just so fucking fantastic. I've also been listening, like I said, to a lot of Mandolin Orange, but all of their older albums have been on repeat for me throughout this whole past, I don't know, 2 months, fall season in general. Just very relevant. Also, I Will Rise by Benjamin Todd. Very folky, kind of the same singer-songwriter folk tunes. If you're looking for that, Benjamin Todd is from Lost Dog Street Band and his solo album is fucking fantastic. And then I'm also in a different genre now, loving Summer Walker's Over It album and Phineas's Blood Harmony EP. So that has been what my fall tunes are, but all of those are on my fall playlist, so I'm just gonna link that down below rather than linking every single project individually. Hi, baby.
Special delivery.
Special delivery. My other favorite freaking poopy puppy is here. Hi. Miss Rue is my other favorite thing I've been loving for the past 2 months. I don't know if she's been in a main channel video. Has she? Since we got her? I feel like she has. Anyways, we got her at the beginning of September. She's a little baby dachshund and she's almost 4 months old. I have lots of vlogs of her first moments with us and time with us. So if you would like to go and watch those, you can go and watch those. Look at her freaking ears. What are you doing right now?
It's a classic update.
Also, give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below if you want me to film a puppy tag with her, because sometimes I reminisce on my puppy tag with Larry and I'm just like, oh my god, his belly was so big, he would not stop teething on me, and his crystals. Do you guys remember that Larry had a literal obsession with chewing on my crystals when he was a baby? Because I remember, I will never forget. But yeah, it's just nice to have those like baby videos of them to go and look back on and see what I said.
Do you want her up here or do you want me to take her back?
I would like you to take her back, but thank you so much for bringing her up. I almost forgot that you're my other favorite this month. This is me. Okay, my last category is everything that we have been watching over the past 2 months, which has been a lot of things. Mostly movies. We've been watching a shit ton of movies, but also one show. So there's an episode of Chef's Table on Netflix, and the person featured in it is Wong Khan, I think is how you pronounce her name, but I'm just gonna put it on the screen here. You should watch this episode where she is featured on Chef's Table, because it was basically about her Buddhist monastery and how she feeds all of her sisters and all of the people who come to the Buddhist place to worship, and all of her recipes that she just like makes from scratch. And she's very like nature oriented and has a nice beautiful garden, and it was just like such a beautiful episode. When Finley's dad was in town, he showed it to us and I was just like, this is incredible. Thank you so much for showing me this episode, because it was very meaningful and there was a lot of like intention in her cooking, which is something that I strive for as well. So very interesting episode if you guys like cooking shows and whatnot. It's not like competitive cooking, it's just like a little mini doc on this specific chef. And then we also watched Good Time last month and it was so fantastic. I had never seen it before. I love Robert Pattinson so much and it was just a beautiful storyline and just like really a great action movie, truly. So really loved that. I also watched Alone, Requiem for a Dream, because Finley's already seen it and he was like, it was so emotional for me, I cannot watch it again. And so I watched it alone in my room, did a lot of crying. It was a lot. I'm already gonna, you know, just kind of give you guys like a general PSA if you're going to watch it. It's like deeply disturbing, just out of the truth, and like it shows 3 separate stories of addiction, and it was just it was a powerful movie. So I would recommend watching it if you're interested in that kind of thing. And then for my last thing, it's a podcast. It's not actually what I've been watching, but it's called Epstein, Devil in the Darkness. And whew, okay. Trigger warning on that podcast for sure. There's a lot of details just about like his accounts of, you know, like abusing underage girls, and they share their stories and have them retold on the podcast in detail. And so I needed to skip through the most recent episode. I think it was episode 8 throughout this whole section because I was just crying in the car listening to it. I was like, this is so triggering, I cannot. But at the same time, it's so deeply informative and enlightening as to what his level of evil and darkness was. So if you're interested in hearing more details of not only Epstein, but like Trump's hand in everything, Prince Andrew's hand in everything, and them just like shoving everything under the rug and all that kind of stuff. So it's just it's a 411. Okay, on that note, let's friggin' end off this video because I had a lot to show you today, and I hope you enjoyed this nice I love this stuff episode. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up for me and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Ring the notifications bell if you would like to be notified when I upload. Become a patron of mine if you would like to support my earnings for this month. And until my next video, stay smiling. Bye guys.